Hey there, Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. In today's video, I have some moves for you. And I want to talk briefly about what I consider the difference between a move and a lick. And this, the way this came to me is, it's like typing. And this is kind of a strange analogy, I know, but when you type, or at least when most people type that are pretty comfortable touch typing, if you think of like, I need the word the, you don't think there's the T, there's the H, there's the E. Most of the time you just type the, you don't really think about it. Many of us, today we use email, and we use all these different things. Most people are pretty good at typing, and you don't realize that you get to the point where you kind of chunk words together, words that you use frequently, even big words perhaps. Maybe you often type the word celebration, right? So you get to where your fingers just go there. And it could be a fairly substantial thing, but typically it's going to be the smaller words. Well, guitar playing, I think, is kind of the same way, or at least soloing. Because there are certain, I'll say, moves, right? There's little things that we do a lot. These little small phrases, maybe 4 notes, 5 notes, even 3 notes. They're small ideas, and they're kind of the A, and the, right, of blues playing. So let me show you 3 of them today. And then what we'll do, I'll kind of show you these 3. You can show you where they come from, show you how to use them, and then in another video I'll put them together into a lick, and you'll kind of see how that can go. This is how some of those bigger, larger licks get created. So the first one, I'm in the key of A, right? So I'm thinking about what I commonly call, this would be the top of box 2, or you might call it the 4-note solo pattern, if you're familiar with that. But I'm going to take that top note, return it, go down to the 8th fret, and down to the 10th fret on the 2nd string. So I'm starting with the top note is the 4 of the scale, returning it, down to the flatted 3, down to the root. So this is from the minor pentatonic scale, or the minor blues scale. And I do that because, okay, if I wanted the key of B, it'd be here. Or the key of E, I could do this anywhere. So I tend not to think about note names. I tend to think about the scale degrees. Okay? In a timing fashion, okay, it's kind of one thing that's kind of important in order to put these things together. And I know I talk a lot about counting and timing, but it's really important because if you don't know when this thing is supposed to start, if you don't know when in general this idea starts, you're going to have a hard time combining it with another idea. So in this case, I wrote it starting, I'll say, on the I count these beats 1 and 2 and so if you count 1 triplet, 2 triplet, this would be the let, right? But it's the end of the beat. It's the last of the 3 counts within the beat. And you'll notice that I am counting this in a swing feel, right? Or a shuffle, like a blues shuffle where it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm not counting in a straight feel 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in. Okay, so if I'm thinking of it like that, 1 and 2 and right? Now, does it have to be on beat 1? No, it doesn't. It could be 1 and 2 and 3 and as long as it's on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right? I could put it anywhere. Now, this same move could happen an octave lower. And I wanted to show you this because you might also recognize this as being part of our good old friend box 1. So I would encourage you to be able to play it in both places, 1 and 2 and you can either do a pull off or pick. It doesn't really matter, that's not the point. You should be pretty comfortable doing it in either place. Now, once you get one of these moves, I'll say, under your belt, I encourage you to, I'll say, play it, with some sort of a track. I just recorded myself playing a blues in A into my looper. You could go on YouTube and search, slow blues in A jam track, whatever works. But just to start to get used to playing it in time. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a, right? Just getting comfortable with that timing. I could try it on, I'll say the next beat. 3, a 4, a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and I know it's not written that way. I could put it on beat 3, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4 and a, right? I could even put it on the of beat 4, 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. I can put it absolutely on any of the beats, excuse me. Didn't want to keep the tab up, right? I can put it on any of the beats. No problem at all. Works like a champ. Okay, so get comfortable with that move. It's a really simple, easy move. It's very quick to memorize. Therefore, you should have no trouble counting it out loud. So if you struggle with the counting out loud thing, this is a great opportunity to start to incorporate that. Okay, so let's take a look at another lick. And again, I'll say bring this out of that top of box 2. So I'm starting at the root, flat 3, 4, flat 3, bend the 4th up to the 5th. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And again, it happens an octave lower. That's the second bar up there. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And again, it doesn't have to be on beat 1. It could be 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Or I could put it on beat 3, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 to 3 and a 4 and a 1. And of course I could do beat 4. You can do any of the beats. The important part with a move is not always, not usually, the exact beat that it starts on. It's the position within the beat that matters, okay? And again, this is really short. It's really simple to memorize. You should have no trouble counting it. It's not some big long lick that you have to memorize. But what's really cool is that once you've got it, you're not gonna have to think about it anymore, right? Make sure you really take time. Play it, count it out loud, but then play it over a bunch of different jam tracks, okay? Different speeds, different tempos, which is really the same thing, different keys, right? Really get this to where it just rolls out of your fingers. You need this to just be something that you don't even have to think about. That is the key to really sounding like when you play that you have conviction, right? You know what it's gonna sound like. You know you're gonna hit it. You've done it 1,000 times before. It's like talking. That's what we want. Okay, let's go on. I do have one more idea for you. Now this one is out of box 1, right? And this one starts, you'll notice, on a downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now I'm taking the 4th of the scale from good old box 1, bending it up to the 5th, then I'm striking the 5th, then I'm rolling over to the root, and then I'm hitting the flat 7th. Now, I gave the flat 7th a quarter note. But of course, if I was going on to something else, it probably wouldn't last that long. So I can do it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I could put it on beat 1, 1 and 2. Right away, I could put it on beat 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. I could put it on beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, but that move, like all of the others, is a move that you're gonna play about 100,000 times in your life as a blues soloist. You're gonna play all of these ideas over and over and over. Just like simple words like a, n, and the. You use them all the time, every day. No matter whose licks you learn, you're going to use those moves. They're going to come up. You play some Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's going to come up. You play some Albert King, it's going to come up. You play some Buddy Guy, it's going to come up. You play some B.B. King, it's going to come up. Those licks, these are standard classic vocabulary that everyone is going to learn and everyone is going to use. Is it going to make you sound like everyone else? No, not at all, because everyone uses this vocabulary. It's how you use it that matters. So again, practice over different beats, turn on different jam tracks, play each of these, really get them under your fingers, get to where it's just nothing. It's nothing that you have to worry about, right? I should again be able to put on that jam track, 3, 4, 1 and 2, and 3, 4 and 1. How about beat 3? How about beat 4? 3, 4 and beat 1. 1 and sounds weird to me because I don't start on beat 1 usually. There's beat 2, 1, 2, 3. Here's beat 4, 2, 3, 4, and maybe repeat it. 1 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and right. You can play it over and over. There's so many things you could do, and if you get to the point that this is easy for you and you can just play it, then those different ideas of how you can start to mess with it will start to come into your head. When you don't have to control your fingers anymore, they'll just play it. That's when the fun begins. So I wanted to give you something very simple, very short, very easy to memorize, so you can do the counting, you can really nail the beat with this, and you can actually practice it enough to get it to where it's just a natural thing that your fingers will do. Okay, so take some time with that. Again, I will take these, I'll put them into a lick. I'll do that in another video, maybe tomorrow. We'll try and get that out for you. But I hope you'll take some time and work with this, really put it together. It's a great thing. It's an important thing for you to do as a soloist. And as always, if you have guitar playing friends that you think would dig this video, I hope you will send it to them. And I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.